Okay. Injury-wise, I think we came out pretty clean. I'm sure we'll have some bumps and bruises like always. Obviously, when you get beat like that, we didn't coach good enough and we didn't play good enough all three phases. So we got to get back at it. We got to adapt a little bit, and that starts with me. We can't look like that because we didn't give ourselves a chance to win the game. So we'll get back at it. I told those guys they'll keep their heads up. We got good guys in there, so they're not going to point the finger. They're not going to look for excuses. We're going to go back to the drawing board tomorrow, get better from this, bury it, and then we're beyond to San Francisco. Go ahead.
Jonathan, coming out at halftime, your first possession, just getting backed up, the holding penalties, it looked like there may have been a drop there. Kyler was sacked. You want to come out of the locker room, set a tone. Did you feel like you guys were a little bit deflated after that?
Yeah, I think we had the long DPI, they score, and then we were going backwards and go 3 and out, so everyone's frustrated at that point, but I think then we might have held them to a field goal and then we scored, so we kind of got back into it, so that tells me that we're not down and out, you know what I mean, but it wasn't looking good right there, but they kept battling.
On the fourth down, Kyler got sacked on. It seemed like there was some confusion before the play, and then
I don't think there was confusion before the play. That was off of a timeout. I don't know what he saw. We got to convert that and score some points there.
What were you seeing overall that was preventing you guys from finding more rhythm offensively after the first drive?
Yeah, we just got to look at everything, you know what I mean? Because the first drive went right down, scored points, and then we kind of stalled out a little bit. So, that starts with us coaches first, putting them in good positions, and then we got to play a little better.
You change anything to your routine this week, Coach?
No, I'm not going to change anything in our routine or our process, but we do got to adapt some things because that wasn't good enough. So we're 1-3. That was the first time that we got beat like that. So if you just keep doing the same thing, then you're asking for the same result. So we're very process-driven, and I trust our process. But I told everyone in there, everybody's going to have to take a good hard look, point the thumb at themselves, starting with me, and we got to make some adjustments.
You obviously had some more injuries along the defensive front, but you mentioned after the last game that you can't give up 150-plus rushing yards. They ran for 200-plus.
Yeah, we haven't done a good enough job stopping the run. So we're playing behind the 8 ball on defense all day, and it's a hard way to go. And give those guys credit. That's a good offense. They're well coached, and they made a bunch of plays. So made obviously a lot more than us. But we got to tweak some things in the run game, make sure we're doing a better job. And then, with saying that, which we will, to your point, Bob, we do have to do like the little easy things better. Set edges, tackle, get off blocks, be in the right spot. So I know we'll be able to fix those things.
In the first half, there were a handful of 3rd and 4th and 1s where you guys passed the ball. One of them was the touchdown. But what was the thinking behind all those passing decisions?
Best play.
What's any positives you can take out of this one?
Not a lot, truthfully. We got a couple stops on defense. We scored some points, you know what I mean? On offense, there's 2 drives, but not a lot, honestly, Tyler. Like I said, it's this league's very humbling, and we got humbled today. So we'll get back to it, and the positive will be what we get out of this tape tomorrow, the adjustments that we make, the corrections that we make, and we'll get better from it. That's what will be the positive from it.
you want to stick with your process, but you also want to adapt and adjust. What does adapting in this case look like?
Yeah, I got to watch tape because how we're playing on all 3 phases, obviously is it's not right now. You know what I mean? So, and there was communication on the headset, kind of talking about that late in the game when the game was out of reach there. It was a good conversation where everyone's looking in the mirror and saying, hey, we got to do a better job. We got to figure it out together, and we will.
Pretty even keeled when you point out, when you're critical on film study on Monday after a loss, or do you point out exactly what is wrong and remind everybody what?
Yeah, with that, with the team, I trust my gut, but we point out the good and the bad all the time, and we'll make sure that we know exactly what we have to do moving forward to learn and get better at, so that doesn't happen again.
Each of the past 2 weeks, you've said it starts with yourself, it starts with coaching. Why do you say that?
Because I'm the head coach. So everything that goes on out there is my responsibility. So when you get beat by whatever we got beat today, doesn't feel real good. So I'm going to look in the mirror and adjust and adapt and do a better job.
This is a critical point for this team, going 1-3 with
No, and we got knocked on the mat round 4. You know what I mean? So the critical point is every day, how we respond tomorrow. And then the next critical point will be Wednesday's practice and so on and so forth.
Jaden Daniels had 4 incompletions today. How tough was he to handle given his
Yeah, he's a good player. You know, he's dynamic. He can be, you know, we had a couple times we had him wrapped up. He got out of it, made some plays with his legs. He gets the ball out and he's accurate. He's a good player. Give him a lot of credit. But we got to do a better job affecting the quarterback. Okay, thanks, guys.